Hello, everyone. Welcome to Barca News. It is January 21st, 2026, and it's official. Mark Ter Stegen has joined Girona, and we're going to discuss what Joan Laporta had to say about this move. Also, we have an update in regards to Gavi's injury. And finally, an incredibly important meeting is set to happen tomorrow with the board of directors. I'm going to tell you what that meeting is all about. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. My name is Boo. We'll begin this video with the great news that today Barcelona defeated Slavia Praha 2-4 with two incredible and brilliant goals by Fermín López, the Ferminator, who won the MVP of the match, deservedly so, because he was indeed the best player on the pitch. Setting his goals aside, setting his two amazing goals aside. A third goal scored by Dani Olmo, which was also a brilliant goal. And finally, a goal by Robert Lewandowski, sealing Barcelona's victory and giving Barcelona three very, very important points in the Champions League. Because, of course, we want to finish in the top 8 in order to be able to qualify to the round of 16, because if you don't finish in the top 8, if you finish in the next 16 teams, you have to play 2 playoff matches. And even though I do believe that Barcelona can win those 2 playoff matches and eventually qualify to the round of 16, given how hectic this calendar is, of course, we want to avoid adding 2 more matches to our calendar and hope to qualify directly into the round of 16 of the Champions League. Now, I said this was a very important victory because with these 3 points, Barcelona are now this much closer to the top 8. As you can see now, Barcelona are sitting 9th with 13 points, tied with PSG, Newcastle, and Chelsea. And next week, Barcelona are set to play against Copenhagen at home, where hopefully we'll be able to win by a comfortable margin. Meanwhile, PSG and Newcastle will be playing each other next week, which means one or maybe 2 of them will drop points. You know, PSG win, Newcastle drop 3 points. If Newcastle win, PSG drop 3 points. And if they both draw, then both of them will drop 2 points each. So Barcelona's odds are looking pretty good as far as qualifying in the top 8. But I don't want to jinx it. So that's all I'm going to say. Now, I did do the post-match live analysis. If you want to hear my thoughts and opinions about the Barcelona victory over Slavia Praha, make sure to check out the video on the channel. Now, on to that next bit of news because, ladies and gentlemen, it's official. Barcelona's captain, Marc-Andre Ter Stegen, has officially joined Girona on loan for 6 months until the end of the season in search for more minutes in hopes to be able to start for Germany in the 2026 World Cup. Now, of course, Barcelona will be covering the majority of the salary of Ter Stegen because Girona, it's a humble club that will only be able to pay 500,000 euros of Ter Stegen's salary, with Barcelona covering 90% of the salary of the German goalkeeper. And of course, Barcelona did insert a fear clause into Ter Stegen's contract, which means that Ter Stegen will not be able to play against Barcelona. Now, Ter Stegen did send a message to the club, his teammates, and the fans upon his departure to Girona to join his new team, or temporary new team, until the remainder of the season. And this is what the Barcelona captain had to say. Today is my last day this season with my teammates and the staff at FC Barcelona, and I truly have mixed feelings. So many memories and emotions are running through me right now. For nearly 12 years, this club, and especially this locker room, has been my home, a place where I've grown as a player and as a person, and where I've lived unforgettable moments. I feel deeply grateful and proud. I love this club and this city and this region. They carry a feeling inside me that will never fade. Your support over all these years has been incredible. Thank you from my heart. To the locker room, thank you for so many years shared, for the daily life together, the laughs, the battles, and the respect. I carry you with me. I've had the immense honor of wearing the captain's armband, something I will carry with me forever. Now my journey continues in Catalonia, and I'm really looking forward to what's ahead. I wish you all the best for the rest of the season, and I hope to see many more trophies lifted. See you soon with the 2 Blaugrana hearts. So emotional farewell by Ter Stegen, saying goodbye to the fans and to his teammates for now, of course, because it's only a 6-month loan. but we'll see what will happen in the summer. Now, speaking of Ter Stegen's departure, the Barcelona president, Joan Laporta, also had some words about this departure, which leave some question marks. Now, this is what Joan Laporta had to say. We hope it's just a see you later. This one was interesting. We hope it's just a see you later. Marc-Andre, coming back from injury, needs to play, and he'll have more opportunities to play at Girona. He's an exceptional goalkeeper, one of the best in the world. This situation has arisen. It creates conflicting feelings because we want the best for him, and at the same time, we want him at Barca. But we know that if he wants to play in the World Cup, as the German coach has said, he needs to play matches, and staying here, recovering from his injury, would have made that more difficult. Marc-Andre knows that Barca is his home, that this is a loan until the end of the season, and then I hope he goes to the World Cup and we'll talk. He has a contract with us, therefore he remains a Barca player, and I wish the great captain all the best because he's an exceptional person, a great person, apart from being a fantastic goalkeeper. So, of course, Ter Stegen explaining, Laporta explaining that why Ter Stegen is leaving, because he's not going to get the minutes he needs at Barcelona to start for the World Cup. So he's going to Girona where he will be getting those minutes. But then Laporta kind of saying, I hope this is just a see you later. Ter Stegen has a contract. He still remains a Barca player. And that, of course, I said raises questions because, is this just Laporta being polite and saying those things? Or is his intention more for Ter Stegen to stay at Barcelona and be the second goalkeeper, right? Because don't get me wrong, having Joan Garcia and Ter Stegen as our two goalkeepers, I think we were pretty set. I mean, you talk about two world-class goalkeepers. Of course, I don't see Ter Stegen staying as the second goalkeeper. But again, my question to you is, what do you think Laporta is doing here? Is he just being polite? Or does he prefer Ter Stegen being Joan Garcia's backup goalkeeper? Let me know down below in the comment section. Now, speaking of Joan Laporta, tomorrow, Thursday, January 22nd, there's an incredibly important meeting that Laporta will hold with his board of directors, which is to decide when the Barcelona elections will take place. Now, according to the club statutes, the elections must be held between March 15th and June 15th. And originally, the club had considered holding the elections on March 15th. However, there is a match on that day against Sevilla, and there's also, I think, Champions League matches on that week, if I'm not mistaken. So therefore, given the logistical uncertainty surrounding that match, it's unlikely that March 15th will be the date for the elections, and it's more likely that Barcelona or the board will set the elections for March 22nd. But again, the meeting is tomorrow, so we'll for sure know tomorrow when the Barcelona elections will be held. Now, there is another extraordinary General Assembly that will be held either on February 7th or 8th. During that assembly, the club will vote on two things. Number one, to approve the contract renewal with Spotify, which I think it's an incredible thing. I think having landed Spotify as a main sponsor has been an absolute victory for the club. And two, it will be the approval of the new kit sponsor that will appear on the back under the number in the place of UNHCR, something we talked about in the previous video. If you haven't seen it yet, check it out on the channel. Finally, the club will also vote on the extension of the basketball team's license with the Euro League, despite the club having met with the NBA to hear them out about the Europe project. It looks like Barcelona will continue with the Euro League, which is kind of like the Champions League, but for basketball. Anyways, we'll end today's video with two incredible updates. The first one is in regards to Gavi, because as you know, Gavi has been sidelined by injury after undergoing an arthroscopic surgery on his knee. He has been recovering so far, and the club's doctors are reporting that Gavi's recovery is going very well, and it's going according to plan. And as such, it's expected that Gavi will be back in action in February, which is absolutely amazing news because February is right around the corner. Now, of course, that's when Gavi will be back in action. Doesn't mean that that's when Barcelona will be playing him, because given the sensitivity of this injury, and given the injury history of the player, Barcelona will be very, very cautious with Gavi, as they should. but just know that his recovery is going very well and he should be getting back into action in February. Now, speaking of players who suffered knee injuries and who are still technically recovering from that injury, we do have to talk about Marc Bernal, because as I reported in previous videos, the club was leaving the door open for Marc Bernal to go on loan and search for more minutes. However, Hansi Flick closed that door because he does not want Marc Bernal to leave. He wants to count on him. He believes that, he would be better taken care of at the club, medically speaking. And of course, Hansi Flick doesn't want to lose squad depth, and he believes and trusts in Marc Bernal's abilities. But now it's being reported that the player also doesn't want to leave on loan. However, Marc Bernal will consider leaving on loan if the club tells him to. So Marc Bernal wants to stay, but if the club says, hey, maybe you should go get minutes somewhere else, he would listen to the club and go get minutes somewhere else, but he prioritizes staying. Now, of course, I don't see the club doing this because Flick has made it very clear he doesn't want Marc Bernal to leave. So it's most likely that Bernal will continue at the club as he should. Anyways, that is all the news for this video. Again, I did do the post-match live analysis after the Champions League match. So if you want to hear my thoughts and opinions about Barcelona's victory in UCL, make sure to check out that video. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and as always, be scars.